Uchshartam le'ot al yadecha. When we come to Shearith, it feels like we're home.
There's a really tight sense of community that I really love.
Our Jewish family is our family. They're all one.
And it's surprising how seamlessly we fit in.
There's like a sense of belonging, and like a puzzle piece fits into its correct spot.
We get the connections of the society, of the chevra. We become part of a whole. Uchshartam le'ot al yadecha.
Baruch atah Adonai mikabetz nidchei amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who gathers the dispersed of Israel.
Every guest in this hall, said Dumbledore, will be welcomed back here at any time should they wish to come.
Our son grew up loving Harry Potter, so when it came time to put a service together, Nancy Gorod helped Gavri figure out ways to pull that sacred text into the service. As a result, we ended up with a really beautiful, unique simcha. I think what keeps me connected to Shearith is the variety of experiences that you can have. At Shearith, you can be in the sanctuary and praying, singing songs, and being inspired by the rabbi's sermon. You can go study, be with your kids.
We felt Shearith meets everyone where they are.
And we were trying to establish our own connection, right? We kind of did everything on our own timeline and out of order, perhaps. I converted in November.
I hadn't done a bar mitzvah when I was a kid, and it was such a nice opportunity.
I was 6 months pregnant. The B'nai Mitzvah was on a Saturday, and on Friday night, before sundown, before Shabbat started, we had a Jewish wedding. When we came here, it felt comfortable and familiar. There weren't barriers into entering the community.
An openness to welcome new members.
They've never been here before. Let's all go say hi to them.
Being in the presence of other people in a holy space is very powerful.
The people that we see, even though we may not know all of them very well, are always they're incredibly happy to see us, and we're happy to see them too.
I think for me, there's a sense of intimacy in this synagogue. You know, when I was diagnosed with metastatic cancer a couple of years ago, when that diagnosis came through, a lot of the members of the community reached out to me, and it felt very personal in a way that I had not experienced in other synagogues. It feels like we were supported when we needed it.
I started saying Kaddish. It occurred to me that Minyan is one of the traditions of our heritage that brings people together. We've made it work on Zoom. And it means that people can still get together, can still have a ritual experience. It's remarkably kosher.
This year I miss walking down the aisle for Hineni. I miss the choir tremendously. Being with my grandmother, I would spend time at her service for Yom Kippur. Those intergenerational connections that we all have are an important part of Shearith Israel. My grandfather, my father, myself, and my children have all been bar and bat mitzvahed here at Shearith Israel, a lot of them in this very room. I'm lucky that I still can sit with my father every Shabbos. I don't take that for granted.
You see a lot of families whose parents and grandparents are members here, and then their children are members here. And so you're not just friends with your own generation of friends, but you have your parents' friends, and your kids come and they have their friends. You connect all of those different generations together.
We know, since we're getting so old now, we practically know the whole congregation. And it's so nice to come and see our friends who knew us when we were young and good looking. Now they see our grandkids and our kids.
I just remember when I was little and my parents then sat in the front row, as they do now. I would play on the floor in front of the front row during services, and it was kind of surreal to see her play in the front row in this very same spot.
Coming from a convert's perspective, I don't have childhood memories of Jewish experiences to connect me with generations. Experiencing shul life, I feel not only connected with everybody here, but it connects me to their generational past. I feel a generational connection.
Having a place where we do feel connected with a lot of other people makes it feel like that we have a larger family.
And there are also all kinds of incredible and accomplished individuals in the shul who, we develop new ties with.
I think Aaron and I wanted a place that we'd have a cerebral connection to as well as an emotional connection to. Every step of our way here at Shearith Israel, we've been introduced to parts of the community that we hadn't been exposed to before. Keep learning as you're here, and it's surprising and amazing and lovely.
I'm part of a larger community, not just the Shearith Israel community, but also, frankly, the historical Jewish community. It connects us to our past.
Having both feet firmly in a community here helps our kids understand what it feels like to be part of something that's bigger than themselves and to be part of something where there's a really deep shared history.
Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha. Connect these words via wrapping your hand and coming together and touching your heart. Shearith Israel really exemplifies heart is the most important.